Thanks for jumping back once again into another video of the series Technical Analysis. Well, in this series, we analyze different coins and we tell you about the potential entries. So, today, talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had some little volatile moves last night, but they were foretold you. So we're going to talk about Ethereum and then Bitcoin as well. So as you see that in my previous video, I have already explained you this channel, this, let's say, this falling wedge that was going down, and I told you that this was the point of breakout if somehow some kind of breakout happens at this place. So what you should expect. I mean, what is not working? Okay. Okay, so this was the point that I told you that if Ethereum has to break out, it would break out of this point. However, I did not recommend you to take any kind of entry at this place because you had to wait for a retest confirmation at this place. Well, well, it did not break out somehow at this place. So if it was to break, the targets 1, 2, and 3 were given you as a range highs so that you can capitalize on them. So what's next? So what is the current scenario? Well, the current thing that I'm expecting for Ethereum is to just stay in this channel, in this falling wedge. So currently it has been rejected from here. However, it's not necessary that if it is rejected from here, it has to touch that place. But if it was to touch at that place, there will be two things at the same confluence. One is that you will have this green big support, that is a major support level for Ethereum. Historically, I have shown you in my previous video. And the second confluence would be this trend line that is right below this one. So what you do is you can take an entry here and like almost like let's say this place, it comes down here, is $1,670, and you can target this area of the top of the wedge. However, there is another possibility as well. Let me just take a look at that. Okay, so talking about this next possibility, I see something like an inverse head and shoulders that might form up for Ethereum. You know, whenever these things happen in these bear markets, in these bear cycles, you will always see these inverse head and shoulders when the things they want to recover. And for right now, what I can see is that there is something happening in the lower time frame. Let's jump to it. Well, this zone seems to be forming up some kind of support level, and there is a liquidity grab here. That means there could be some buying orders here. However, I will not take an entry at this point because this point does not suit me. I will wait for my own points to take entry. However, I would recommend you also to refrain from these things because the wicks, they play the tricks. And the price is just forming up something like that. Okay, so let's jump back to the daily time frame and well, okay, you see this area is of a great concern. This is a big support as well as you look at this huge pattern that is almost identical to head and shoulders pattern. If somehow this major support breaks, and if this pattern is valid, however, it does not seem to be some kind of a valid pattern, but it's never that you have to see the exact head and shoulders on these patterns. These patterns, they indicate the market psychology. They tell what the people are doing in the market. Anyways, I see a divergence at this point as well. If we talk about divergence, I see this bullish divergence on Ethereum. You see the price is going down, is going declining, and the RSI, or our indicator, it is going to the upside. That is a strong bullish divergence. That means I am putting all my bets on this place. I'm going to take an entry at this line, or if I fail to take an entry on this point, I will not miss the point at this line. I would consider buying Ethereum at these two levels. So these are the two levels that I have told you if you are interested in buying Ethereum. So you should be looking for this level and a breakout above on this level. And if we look at the MACD, I paused the video in between so that I don't have to waste your time. I can directly jump to the conclusion. If you see on the MACD as well, we can see the same bullish divergence that is flying confluence. So these are the moments of decision where this is the moment. So you have to be vigilant if you are taking a long-term entry or good trade or big trade. I would recommend a swing trade at this place. I want a big trade on this point. Let's look at the Bitcoin. What's going on with the Bitcoin? So on the Bitcoin, you see, what do you see? Okay, this is it. Where's the MA? So I have made this 21 simple moving average, and I want to take a deep look at this place. This is the daily 21 moving average. You can see some support here. You see the support. You can see these wicks. That means they are trying to defend this level. They're trying really hard to fight off this level, and don't know who wins, but let's take it to the 4 hours. What can we see? Okay, on the 4 hour, you see we are on the 55 moving average, exactly on 2 moving averages, 55 and the 21. However, talking about this support, the immediate support that we have is this place. So let me just narrow it down to this point. So you might want to consider this point as a point of control for the Bitcoin. You don't want Bitcoin to fall below this point. That would take you to almost like 26,000 or something. And talking about the breakout explained in the previous video, let's see where we have moved up with. So that would be the thing that I told you in my last video. There was a trend line, there was the same support, the same range that Bitcoin broke out of that, and this was the range that Bitcoin was trading in for some time, and somehow it looks to be getting back into the range. But this time the things could be different. There are two things: that if this thing it falls down here, so you can take an entry at this strong level, but that would be a very short and a quick entry. or you can take an entry at this point. That would be a retest of this broken trend line on the 4 hourly time frame. Make sure you make whatever the decision you make, you put a stop loss to it. Never risk all of your portfolio. So that will be it for the Bitcoin. I think there's nothing more what we can see. If we do deep analysis, jump deep down, these are things I do for scalping. You can see this flag. You can see this bearish flag. That is something that will help you tell the immediate next move. So let's consider this breaking out to the downside. Let's just consider it breaking to the downside. So what are we looking at? This is the point we are looking at, this range, almost 28,000 zone. It's not exactly that it had to hit the 28, I mean this whole zone. So there's a possible chance of this thing going down if this breaks below that. If it breaks above that, it has to break this 55 moving average as well. So it might take some good leap. I use some indicator, that is this one, for sometimes for some support. Say okay, so that will be it for the Bitcoin. There's nothing going on, no breakout of any kind. It's just forming different type of candles, just a fight going on within this bear flag, which is not a good and a bullish pattern. So you need to be vigilant. So take care till that time. See you in the next video.